afternoon. I'm sure all of you all know everything about phishing emails and phone calls and text messages. However, here is an interesting story that happened 2 weeks ago. My wife got a phone call from my daughter, a video call with her face on it, and she is talking to her and saying, "Hey, I've met with an accident. My phone broke. I've had to, pick up some charges. Somebody's injured. There's an ambulance around." And she's like, "Oh my God, where?" "All right, here on University Avenue. Can you please send $200 to this number immediately? Thanks, Mom." It's her face on the video. It's her voice that my wife recognizes. But she never calls her mom. She usually says mama or ai, which in my mother tongue in Hindi is mother. So my wife got a little suspicious and she called her on her phone and she picks up. "Hey, what's up, Mom?" She says, "I'm watching a movie. I'm absolutely fine." And that's when she realized something was wrong. This is the next generation of digital information, which is attacking all of us. Today, we are not just here to fight phishing attacks because all of us are techies and we are aware of it. We are in a world where we are at perpetual war. And unfortunately, it's us technocrats who have built it, supported it, enabled it, because this war is so big that we have weapons with all of us. Right now, I can see a few people recording me. These are weapons. This is the way we are actually sharing content online. And the mic is always on, the battery is always charged, your gun's loaded. You can sell stories, you can sell facts and lies. Now, society has always had rules, finite boundaries. Qatar hosted the FIFA World Cup, and it had rules. There were fortunes made because of digital assistance of the VAR. Countries won matches and lost matches because of millimeters of the ball crossing the goal line, still within boundaries. Unfortunately, the social media has absolutely no boundaries because we are the reporters, we are the judges, we ourselves are the executioners, little realizing what we can speak on, what we can talk about, what we can share, because we rule that content and sometimes inadvertently destroy lives. Now, this war is entirely different than what was ever before. Wars have traditionally been fought on land, water, air, sea. Of course, we are all well versed with cyber wars where you have Trojans and worms which get into nuclear power plants and sabotage. And then we've seen millions of movies which talk about all kinds of futuristic warfare. We've seen drones, UAVs, swarms. Swarms are micro drones with a bullet on it, which have artificial intelligence induced face recognition software with one face implanted in one of the swarm elements. Now, we are also seeing Teslas and Unitree, H1, all these robots which are soon going to perform all the mundane tasks that we take out. These will soon be super bots, super warriors, soldiers of the past. And you know what? This is not a threat. The threat is when we look at information which goes beyond religion, beyond territory, beyond money, beyond any sort of fundamentalism, nationalism. These are content, digital online content, which is going to target the human mind, keep us afraid. Always. We never know what's going to hit us when. This goes beyond a lot of our primal fears. The intent, confuse, cause people to not believe anything whatsoever. And this is as close to reality as we can see, and it's not in the past. This information is about 2 weeks old, where one of the finance employees transferred $25 million to a company because he saw on a video call his CFO and a host of other employees whom he recognized, little realizing that they were deepfakes. All of us are Taylor Swift fans, but there was AI generated content which went viral and caused a lot of issues. In fact, it also prompted the Defiance Act, which is part of the US Congress, where it is not information that the information for the owner and the people who spread it, everyone is held liable. And even now, a week ago, OpenAI has released Sora, prompt-based video generation. Now imagine a video which goes, two brothers wrestling on the road, one wearing jeans, one wearing a skull cap with a beard, and you spread this video saying riots happening in Paris. And I can use these prompts to make this video as realistic as possible. Now, though Sora and OpenAI have very clearly drawn the boundaries from religious, ethnic, for the prompts that their video generates, there are so many loopholes around this. So we cannot believe anything we see, read, or hear online. And this is a cause for concern. How are we ever going to stop this? Will this war ever end? Yes. The basis of this is accountability of the content. If we are in a position to ensure that all the content has one single verified owner, we are able to identify that the content has not been modified or AI generated, morphed. We are able to identify the location and the timestamp. It's a beginning. It's a start of tracing the lineage of the content. In other words, the authenticity of the content. Now, you might wonder that it's not impossible. Why hasn't this already been done? There are standards, C2PA, which are already in place, which are looking at imagery. Vera, which used to be V-Verify, an invid Chrome extension which allows you to check whether the content is genuine or not. In fact, a lot of the media agencies have standards for ensuring how you're going to check the facts. The problem, ladies and gentlemen, is UGC, user-generated content. We don't need no boundaries. So we are free to do what we want when we want. Now, since we have brought this war upon us as technocrats, can we solve it? I think it's about time that this information was tracked at source. 99.9% of all user-generated content is from our mobile phones. What if there was a way where we could fingerprint the content right at the source on your phones? think of it in technology terms, where we are already well versed with the blockchain, where you use things like cryptographic hashes, Merkle trees to build these algorithms and build a hash for the content that you have, and then save it on a decentralized storage with an identity. For example, suppose I have some content which I've taken from my mobile or I've uploaded from my computer. I keep it on a decentralized identity. I keep it in decentralized storage. And here is the interesting part where I use a lot of machine learning for identifying whether the content has deepfakes, whether the content actually has near duplicate videos, which means we do reverse image frame search and find out similar content. A dolphin caught in a net could very easily be shown as somebody doing anti-environmental practices of cutting a net, but showing it as, decapitating a dolphin. These are near duplicate videos. Videos can also be used to identify where this video was taken because of our machine learning algorithms. And they can also generate the sentiment, which means, will this cause any ethnic violence if shared? These tools, ladies and gentlemen, are available today in silos. There are open source machine learning models. One of them is called VISIL, Video Similarity Modeler. These tools are all there in open source for us to use, bring together, and use properly. Now, once we have the content identified with a single owner, saved in a decentralized storage, and let me take 1 second here to explain what the word decentralized here stands for. It means no single central ownership. A lot of us have Google accounts. That information that we upload or own on Google ultimately belongs and resides with Google ownership. Tomorrow, if Google decides to shut shop, your content and your identity is gone with Google. Decentralized identity is zero ownership of any central single entity, which means you are your own owner. Decentralized storage is exactly the same. There are tools available with resources across the globe which can help build this ecosystem where there is no central authority. This is also the basis of how decentralized finance works, where you don't have any central ownership. Cryptocurrency, all these are backed by these blockchain-based technologies. Now, once I have this content, I can give it to authorized published sources on social media or media agencies. Now, if we are able to tap at source, we should also be able to verify at destination, which means when I'm watching these videos, either on YouTube or LinkedIn, TikTok, WhatsApp, the operating system should be able to integrate with a codec, a coding and a de-encoding software for these videos, which can check that fingerprint. And if the social media agencies, the media agencies, the news channels, the information communication technologies adopt some of these standards, there is a way. We've built prototypes around this. For example, if I was seeing a mind-controlled prosthetic arm, I don't know if it's true, I don't know if it's false, but if you see the badge on the top right corner, this is not something which is overlaid. This is part of the video itself. A closer look at that badge will show us exactly who, when, where. You click on it, you can get the lineage. And if a video we are not able to identify, it will show a simple red cross, which tells me that, hey, I'm not sure about this content. Now it's up to you whether you want to believe it, reshare it. This is the start. Now, does this mean that it's been there, done that? Have people already done it? The problem is that media wants sensation. That's how everyone making money, that's what they rely on. And because of this, a lot of the times we don't care what is being shared. Now, this kind of a solution requires mass adoption by a lot of agencies, media agencies, governments. It is also quite complex because it has a lot of machine learning, and machine learning by default is probabilistic, so it gets better over time. It is also quite expensive. You will need tools which are able to handle this at scale. But you know, ladies and gentlemen, the biggest problem? Ignorance. This doesn't happen to me. So what? Let me share this. Let's see what happens. And therein lies the problem. It's also about us to accept that when we take accountability of the content we share, we also, in return, bring in the solace that we will never be the target. It's going to be difficult. I'm not even denying it. But the interesting part is this is inevitable. This has to happen, either by rules which govern this or by adoption. Now, I do not even consider it a stunt. I consider it a duty. At Josh Software, an Indian company, we're about 300 people. We are a services company, but we have an arm where we are actually working towards these solutions. We are working in a way where we are trying to build these prototypes. We are trying to align different agencies to work with us, to talk to us, to collaborate with us. And it's a start. Now, I have no idea whether we will be able to achieve utopia. But if we don't start today, who is going to take this? Who's going to take this forward? And you might ask, why us? Because I dare to talk about war at a conference. Thank you.